Welcome to the BPC Corporate Showcase. My name is Jack Colreevy, Associate Director at Barclay Pearce Capital. And today we're doing part two of a conversation with tech startup, Gifted Social, an exciting startup in the influencer space. And joining me is Steve Hancock, the founder and CEO. Thanks, Steve.
Jack, pleasure to be with you guys again.
So I really enjoyed our first round of conversation. For the second, I think what a powerful demonstration would be for investors to see the platform. So before we jump into that, let's talk about the business model. What is the business model for Gifted Social? How do you guys make your money?
For sure. Really simple. We're a traditional three-tier SaaS platform, three different package levels ranging from, and if we stick in local currency, 200 Aussie dollars, 500 Aussie dollars, and 1,000 Aussie dollars, delivering different things as you go up the SaaS chain, obviously, from collab requests to collab deliveries to feature set to analytics and everything in between. But a very understandable, simple, sort of not reinvented the wheel SaaS model of three price reviews. And that's a brand paying currently. We're exploring some very early, interesting conversations of influencer membership, but way down the line and not forecasted yet.
Yeah, no, that's great. So why don't you bring up the demonstration and take our viewers through the process. Now, what perspective are we looking at?
Course. So hopefully you can see it on screen now. We're going to take you through the actual platform. It's the live platform, albeit a recording of it. It's not Photoshop. There's no mock-ups here. This is Gifted Social. You're starting with this first view as influencer looking in, and we'll take you through the whole journey, seeing what a brand's back end looks like, the UX, all the programming, and everything in between. So I'll kick this off. I'll try and sort of narrate it live time and maybe do a couple of pauses. So in essence here, influencer looking on, blue ticks, you may remember from the first, or blue icons, you might remember from the first interview we did, I referred to sort of brand preferences. So this influencer, where they see a blue icon, they know they're eligible to make an application for collaboration. If they see grey, they're not right. So the brand isn't being served with influencers that they don't want. In here, again, just traditional ribbons. We've structured it in a nice way that influencer can flick through. Restaurants, hotels, suggestions, bars, nightlife. Again, very visual, very user-friendly. And we spent a lot of time getting the UI and the UX to what we feel feels like a very sort of mature piece of software. Product, we've also started ingesting a bit of product over the last few months, although, sort of core focus is absolutely leisure, hospitality. There's nothing stopping us bringing clothing, makeup, hair product, and anything in between there, and sort of serving up in the same way, an offer and an ask for the exchange of product. Just clicks through a bit further to give you sort of a product's
an interesting one. How would say a beauty brand? How would a beauty product traditionally try to hit a micro influencer? Is there a way?
It's a really, really, really good question. Is there a way? There's micro, potentially, right? There's companies out there when we did our sort of deep dive on the competitor landscape that sell databases, large, extensive lists of influencers. So traditionally, if you're a beauty company with a good budget, you will 9 times out of 10 currently go to an agency. You'll acquire one of these lists. And sometimes it's as crazy, believe it or not, as having a list of 100, 500, 1,000, whatever the sample size you want to work with, beauty influencers, and just pop in the mascara or the lip gloss or whatever it might be in the post with a literal little note to say, hey, can you use this product? Can you post about us? What we learned very quickly is, don't quote me on this exact statistic, but high 90% of those influencers don't even open the product, let alone do anything with it, because it's unsolicited, right? There's been no previous communications. It's us sort of unsure for the influencers for the brand. So with us, and from the back end of the sort of granularity of the search function, we can allow a brand to pick this age, let's sort of say female influencer, although maybe male and female, but they can get granular to hair color, eye color, lip shape, so they can really target an influencer base that they know will look great with the product, and the product will look great with them.
That's interesting, effectively throwing darts at a wall. But yeah, continue.
For sure. So on here, just a quick look, SLS Dubai, getting sort of closer down to your part of the world, and how this works. So this is a brand profile, obviously, on the platform. We've built something pretty smart in this respect, so we can scale quickly on the brand profile building. You simply put the brand URL on the back end of our software, and it scrapes all their existing published media and text. The beauty of that is at the point at which you're doing the brand onboarding call, there's not this sort of a friction of saying, oh, I don't like that image, that text doesn't work. Can that be like this? We've literally just taken it from all their existing published media. Obviously, the brand still has the full edible rights to change whatever they want within their profile, but it just means stage one is very smooth. I referred to earlier on the first interview, sort of our backlog of the onboarding. Stage two is sort of it's a call with customer success and onboarding team to get the profile live, to finesse the collaborations, and then ultimately teach them to self-serve. We'll to click through here and do a bit of a deep dive on Strand Palace and how that looks from a brand perspective as well. So here, influencers decided they're in London. They like the sound of the opportunity with Strand Palace. And where I referred to before, a pre-agreed offer and ask, it's generally not rocket science, but it just hadn't been done. And the brand is prepared to offer an afternoon tea for 4 cocktails, and they want in exchange some stories and some posts. It's
that
pre-agreed.
Sounds lovely.
The influencer knows what's expected. They've been pre-matched. It's just very clean, and there's no ambiguity. There's no confusion. The deliverable is there. And we now flip to the back end. So this is the UX for the brand, where you can program the deliverables. We're building a sort of pretty smart deep learning module, where it will look at comparable brands that are also in the same sector, that are also offering afternoon teas, and suggest what the deliverables should be. So, for example, you had 2 afternoon teas at 2, 4 or 5-star hotels in London or Sydney or whatever city it might be. If one was offering or asking for 10 stories and one was asking for 4, the influencer is never going to apply for that 10 because the workload for them is way higher. So the deep learning module that we're building would say, hey, your competitors in your space are down here. We suggest you match that in order to attract the inbound of collaboration requests. And that's something we're super proud of, and it's getting pretty close to launching.
Yeah, that's really intuitive, trying to, because some brands probably don't know what to ask for.
And a bit of learning for us, right? I think they come to us with what should it be? What should we be asking for? So that's been a really cool learning for us, trying to get that balance right, and hence why we've sort of taken it to a machine learning plugin effectively, or something we're building to help with that journey. Just this last little bit on the UX here, you can see sort of toggles, so the brand can toggle offer experiences or offers lifetime as they want. And then there's a bit of free text here, and that comes out to the front end. Just a very quick bit on the importance of something I've referred to, I think, sort of throughout the time we've been talking, Jack, just today and the other week. Here, the influencer preferences. So what the brand wants the follower of that influencer to be. And you can be super granular. We've also built this module out even further since we made this Loom. So where I referred to sort of like hair color and eye color, you can get pretty granular on it. But this is sort of your top line, and in order to sort of funnel that experience through. Back to the UI side. So, influencers read everything. They're happy with what's expected of them. They know what they're getting when they get there. A few little bits, maps of locations, frequently asked questions. So you might have seen sort of the back end of how this is programmed. This is how it looks front end. Guidance, just some rules of basically how we expect the influencer to work. You asked in the first interview about sort of influencer quality and ensuring they weren't sort of bot driven. You also tend to find, and very quickly, certainly from all the background checks we do, and none of this kind of scares a good influencer, a seasoned influencer. So just adhering to some simple policies to ensure brand and influencer gets the best experience. And then finally, to take this through, the influencer says, yeah, I'm good with all of that. I'll send the collaboration request. You then get up this date field. Something I'd love to mention here, and apologies we didn't get a Loom done. It sort of pushed a couple of nights ago. Within the diary section here, it's got really technical. So if you picked that you were going to go on, let's say, a couple of days' time, the 17th, On the side here, it then pings up all of the booking tables that are available. Currently, that's just a diarised time, but we're building a plugin for Top Table, Booking.com, and international comparables, where it's a live time database. So when the influencer sees a table, it won't be double booking one of a paying customer, and thus the brand knows it's truly a free table that hasn't been taken. It's something that we thought was a really nice, and brands certainly do as well. So there's no clashes or lost cash revenue opportunities as well.
Definitely, you want to prioritize your paying customers.
Absolutely. And now you're looking at Strand Palace's actual dashboard. So this is all active collaborations that they've accepted over a period. And then this is the manifestation of the inbox of inbound requests and what opportunities have been applied for. And then simply down the bottom here, just an overview for them to see what collaborations they've got live. And it's super simple. We haven't shown you on this, Lou, but if you wanted to create a new brief, you would just literally create new and off you go, and free text and suggestions of what your new opportunity might be. And again, talk to the team, talk to the influencer. So over here, some analytics. This is something that, again, I referred to, we're really doubling down on with funds, because the power of data, we all know, is game changing. But here is already in a really nice spot, but something we want to develop further. And then from a brand perspective, with influencer, we allow the ability for the brand, and at this stage, they've had sort of full comms, and you'll see, again, I referred to in the first call, sort of the Airbnb, you've got all the communications in the platform. You're not having to go on WhatsApp. You're not having to DM someone, email someone, call someone. It's all just here, really easy, and our team can jump in for support if anything's needed, or the gifted team can be asked questions as well. And the brand, before they decide to finally make that commitment with the influencer, they can spin out here and look at some really interesting statistics, follow account, engagement rates. They can go out to their actual social channels that this influencer has put forward to work on. And here you see sort of the powerful data that we were talking about earlier, the demographic of the audiences, which is, game changing for brands, this element, the content risk analysis, which I think I referred to on our first call as well, and also the return on investment, which I absolutely referred to on the first call. So a brand, per campaign on a monthly basis can have a report. And again, sort of the further up the SaaS chain you get, the more detailed that reporting gets, where they can say, right, I've done 6 collaborations this month. This is what the ROI has been based on the engagement levels that we've received. It allows the influencer to post previous postings, pre-us or independent on here. And then finally, for everybody to see, you can now decide, I'm going to work with this influencer. So you approve the collaboration, and then it spins you out to our paywall, which is currently, as you'll see, 3-tier SaaS that we've referred to. We're kind of doing a bit of early learning on how this might slightly tweak or amend, but the foundation of the core value of this pricing will remain, just with some early learnings of how this might alter and what might be on offer to the brand, but inherently the same. Haven't reinvented the wheel here. This sort of spins out to the back end of Stripe that's obviously built into the back end of our system. And off you go. The last sort of things to mention, we encourage brands to decline so the system can continue to learn. It's an important part for us, so the back end can see why it didn't go forwards. But most importantly, and what brands have told us is invaluable to them, is the ability to go back and look at all of the completed collabs, look at the analytics, look at the engagement rates, and even look at the physical content as well. And it lives here for the lifetime of the subscription. So you're not having to go back through several social media platforms and try and find old campaigns. It's all here, whether it's on Insta, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and anything else, X, or in between. That's a pretty good overview of the platform.
That was very comprehensive. It's, incredibly impressive what you've been able to build with the resources that you've had so far. So it's incredible. I can't imagine what you'll be able to do with some shareholder funds from this upcoming seed capital raise. It's really, really exciting. Thanks for taking us through that, Steve.
Of course, thank you. Yeah, if it's okay to say myself, we're really proud of what we've built. The opportunity is huge, and as you rightly said, pour some fuel on this fire, and we're really excited of where this is going to go.
Yeah. Okay, well, all the best. To learn more about investment opportunities with Gifted Social, please subscribe to the Chairman's List by clicking the link in the description.